Okay, welcome back to another MECH 1000 video. We are continuing our work on drawing 10.4, and so far we have drawn the cap, and we drew the base, and there's only two more parts left, the bushing and the hex head bolt. The bushing should be pretty easy to draw, and the hex head bolt we can bring in from the design center. So before we get started on that, I just noticed I need to copy some text down here. Come on, my escape button's not working. Escape. There, I'll just do it that way. And let's edit that to call this the base. Okay, I've got some weird computer issues going on here. Hopefully that will settle down. There we go. Base. Alright, so I think I will draw the bushing. I'll draw it over in this area somewhere. So let's start with the left side view, which is basically just a bunch of concentric circles. Don't know why my escape button is not working. That is going to cause a problem. Hopefully it rectifies itself at some point. I want to go back to 0 layers, I was trying to do. And let's start a circle. Okay, the outside diameter is 2. So D, enter, 2, enter. Then we've got a diameter of 1.5. And then the through hole is diameter of 1.125. Let's put a center mark on that. And let's go ahead and put our diameter dimension on it as well, on the through hole. Okay. I'll bring a center line, kind of use it as a construction line, over here to the right. And let's switch back to the 0 layer. I'm going to draw this, again, I don't worry about the exact position when I first draw it. Line that goes up to, over 0.5, down. Let's see, 2 minus 1.5 is a half divided by 2 is a quarter, 0.25. And then 4.5 minus a half is 4. Straight down, 1.5, back to the right, 4, down a quarter, back over a half. Alright, so now I will take this bushing and move it so this midpoint ends up on the center line. Turn off my snap mode for now. Sometimes it just gets in the way. And I'll stretch out that center line to the left and to the right. Okay, now the through hole, I can use construction lines here to draw the top and bottom of the through hole and then trim it off. And then this right side view is a section view, so I should, oh, it doesn't look like I have a hatch layer in this template yet. So let's create a new layer, call it hatch, and let's change the color. I'll make it a gray. Continuous lines are fine. Let's make that hatch ANSI 31 pattern. And I created the hatch layer. I didn't use it though. There we go. So after I've made it, I'll put it back onto the hatch layer. Now I just need to add some dimensions. Got a linear dimension at this end. I probably need to give this a little bit more space between these two views. And the overall length, 4.5. That dimension is 0.5. This dimension is 2. And I'll copy my text from down here. I'll copy it over here. See, now my escape button's working. And we'll call this the bushing. All text in technical drawing should be all caps. And that's it for the bushing. I'll go ahead and do the hex head bolt. I'm less than 7 minutes into this video, so I've got time. I think I can make the hex head bolt. Maybe I'll just move this bushing up. And I can make the hex head bolt here. So the hex head bolt is something that I do not need to draw from scratch. I can find a hex head bolt in the design center. So if I go to insert, well, I was a bit surprised. I came to my insert tab. I think that's where the design center has been located historically. I couldn't remember if it was on the home tab or the insert tab, but either way, I am not seeing it in this current version of AutoCAD. So I did a quick Google search to see where it went or how I could find it. I still don't know where it is, but I can bring it up with a keyboard shortcut. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to type DC for Design Center. And it brings up DC Add Center, AutoCAD Design Center. And so that opens it up. And here it is. So I'm accessing this for the first time with this new version of AutoCAD. And it can be a little bit confusing to find what you're looking for here, the way they have these folders arranged. If you're accessing it for the first time, it should take you to this folder location. This tree diagram here on the left is showing you all the folders where it's located in your computer. First time you come to it, it takes you to this location where you want to click on, you're in this sample folder right now, we want to click on ENUS, English US, Design Center. And what we have here are categories of different blocks. We have integrated circuits, different text styles, electronics, so on and so forth. What we want are fasteners US. So double click on that. And then we want to go to blocks. Okay, and this is by no means a complete list of hardware, but it is some commonly used pieces of hardware, including hex head bolts, and nuts and screws. And so what we want is we want the hex head bolt from the side view and from the front view. So I'll just move this over here a little bit so I can take these and you just drag and drop. Drag and drop. Okay, and that's all we need. So let's close out of that. Now I had my annotation layer as the active layer. Let me switch that back to the 0 layer. And the length of this hex head bolt is not what I want. I want a 2 1/4 inch hex head bolt. And if I put a dimension on here, I can see that right now it's only 1. So I need to stretch this out an additional 1 1/4 inches. But the thing about blocks is if I just try to stretch this out, it doesn't stretch. I can stretch the dimension, but not the block. So what I need to do is double click on this block to open up the the block editor. And within this environment, I can open up or edit the block. So I will stretch this out 1 1/4 inches, 1.25. And the length of the threads is not critical, I would say. So I would just leave that line right where it is. That may not be 100% accurate as far as with a partially threaded bolt, how far up the shaft do the threads go, but this is really just sort of a diagrammatic representation of the bolt anyways. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Close the text editor, save the changes, and that changes that bolt. And if we had multiple bolts in our drawing, this would change all of them. So these two views are they're two views of the same object, so they need to be aligned with each other. So I need to move this so that the centers are horizontally aligned. And then I'm just going to add a leader. So let's just add it from here. And this is a 1/2 inch by 13, or 1/2 inch 13 by 2 1/4 inch UNC -2A. And that, no, I'm gonna unstack that text or that fraction. Okay, and I'm just gonna take this text here. Let's copy it and change it to hex head bolt. If I stretch out the box for that text, it will allow it to just be 1 line instead of automatically forcing it to be 2. Okay, and there we have it. We've got our bolt. Oh, I could add a center mark there, I suppose. Let's switch back to my center layer. Add that center mark. Ooh, I don't like the way that ends right on, well, it's not right on, but really close to the edge of that bolt. So you know what? Maybe I won't go with the center mark. Maybe I'll just draw it with lines. But I'm just about out of time here, so I think I will, I'll add that. I'll add the center mark and the center line through the side view, and then I'll be ready to put these parts together to make my assembly view. And I'll do that in the next drawing. Or I'm sorry, in the next video.